In the scene, the two people arguing are a married couple. The husband, Ju Jongwo, furious, drove his wife out of the house. But who exactly is the woman mentioned by Zhong Xiaoying? And why did the couple end up in such an intense conflict? Zhong Xiaoying said she had been married to her husband for 25 years. At the beginning of the year, she was suddenly expelled from the house by him, and since then, she has been living alone, wandering without direction. And all of this happened because an unexpected intruder appeared between her and her husband.
我没地方住的，现在等于无家可归是吧？啊，是的。这个是我拽着我一次就打我一次，还要我跟他给12万块钱，这个女的走的，他就不打我了。
Zhong Xiaoying showed several hospital receipts. She said that ever since this intruder entered her life, her husband had begun to assault her frequently. And this stranger even demanded 100,000 yuan before agreeing to leave their home, which left Zhong Xiaoying extremely outraged. But are the facts really as Zhong Xiaoying described them? Next, the reporters accompanied Zhong Xiaoying back home to clarify the situation. When he saw his wife arrive, her husband, Ju Jongwo, appeared very cold, and his next words left everyone astonished.
你家里是什么情况？你老婆跟你
什么情况？出去10多年了。
出去好多年？
你10多年。
我不能信这个话，这个问题怎么？
这个我是你的问，不要这个，我这里把人还会总理。
Faced with his wife shouting and complaints, Ju Jongwo even said he would call their son back to teach her a lesson. It seemed that both the husband and the son harbored deep resentment toward Zhong Xiaoying. Confronted with his wife, who was completely agitated, Ju Jongwo showed profound contempt and declared that the house simply did not belong to Zhong Xiaoying. But what secrets were hidden behind this story? Soon after, Zhong Xiaoying, consumed by anger, rushed upstairs to the second floor. She kept searching frantically for the stranger's clothes but found no trace of her in the room. Zhong Xiaoying believed that her husband had hidden the other woman. At that moment, Ju Jongwo also went upstairs. He said that his wife's return there had a hidden agenda. This couple, married for 25 years, fought as if they were enemies, exchanging physical blows. Ju Jongwo's loss of control caught the reporters off guard. To prevent the conflict from escalating further, the journalists asked Zhong Xiaoying to hide inside the house for a while they spoke privately with Ju Jongwo to better understand the situation. Ju Jongwo stated that his wife, Zhong Xiaoying, had left the home a long time ago and, during all those years, had never taken care of anything related to the family. However, when she learned that the house had finally been built, Zhong Xiaoying suddenly reappeared, demanding to divide the property and claim part of the ownership.
509年把房子建的时候，5年也有人不肯，后来一直呢就弄明显，管事我都没管。那他怎么会忽然回来呢？我说房子呢，问儿子呢，俺是他到外头都逮过后面。
Upon hearing her husband's words, Zhong Xiaoying stormed out in fury, still accusing him of betraying her. In response to Zhong Xiaoying's accusation, Ju Jongwo countered. After Zhong Xiaoying left home, he admitted that he did meet another woman, but that person was merely a nanny he had hired. All of this, he said, happened because his wife had never fulfilled her role as a wife and mother. To take care of their young son, he had no choice but to hire a nanny to look after the two of them. When she heard this, Zhong Xiaoying suddenly made a demand. If you don't want me, fine, but then give me 1 million. She demanded that her husband pay her 1 million yuan, and only then would she agree to divorce and leave. So, to Zhong Xiaoying, was this marriage nothing more than a bargaining chip to get money? Ju Jongwo told reporters that his wife had abandoned him and their son for nearly 20 years and had hardly ever returned home during that time. Once, when he was gravely ill and hospitalized, almost at death's door, Zhong Xiaoying only showed up briefly to glance at him before vanishing again, never caring for him for even a single day. Because of that, he said, his heart had long been devoid of any feelings for her. Later, when he was injured and needed someone to care for him, and with his son Ju Feng still very young, he hired a nanny to help them. But this action was twisted by Zhong Xiaoying into an accusation of betrayal. I only hired a worker. I wasn't fooling around with anyone. There was no one else, only me taking care of everything. I was both father and mother at the same time. If I hadn't hired someone, how could I have managed? All I wanted was someone to help in the house, he said. Now, each insists on their own version of events. Zhong Xiaoying continues to claim that it was the nanny who destroyed her family, insisting that she is the true victim. She demanded 1 million yuan in compensation for emotional damages. But what is the real truth behind this story? To defend herself, Zhong Xiaoying brought the reporters to her family's home. Her sister-in-law was surprised at her arrival and said she would not get involved in her affairs. In a private conversation, the sister-in-law revealed that Zhong Xiaoying had been away for almost 18 years, always wandering outside, with no contact at all. Her family confirmed they had no clear idea of what she had been doing during those years. When confronted by the reporters, Zhong Xiaoying admitted that she had indeed been away for many years but insisted it was her husband's coldness and violence that forced her to leave. She claimed that she returned every year, contrary to what her husband said. She presented a divorce judgment and recounted that when she tried to come back home years ago, her husband filed a lawsuit demanding divorce, which she said left her feeling wronged. She argued that he was the one at fault, and if he wanted the divorce, he should compensate her with 1 million yuan. She also produced a receipt claiming she had paid her son's school fees, but journalists found that it was only a single payment of just over 1,000 yuan for the first semester of his third year in middle school. When speaking about her son, Zhong Xiaoying burst into tears, saying that everything she did was for his sake, that she only wanted to give him a perfect family. She added, "If things are going to be like this, if that woman is going to stay, then I want her exposed. Either she pays me for the emotional damage and puts the house entirely in my name, or I will never have peace." Her constant emphasis on the house and money inevitably raised suspicions about her true intentions. And what did her son, Zhu Feng, think of all this? Zhong Xiaoying decided to return home once again to confront her husband. At that moment, she claimed to have seen the nanny among the people. Overcome with anger, she rushed to the second floor of a neighbor's house. Zhu Zhongwo appeared, furious, and pulled her down. Zhong Xiaoying shouted back, saying she was being wronged. It was then that the local police arrived. One staff member said, "This kind of trouble has already happened many times. Since last year, she has come here almost every day to cause problems. It's as if she wanted the police station to move here. She disappeared for more than 10 years without a word and now comes back demanding money and the house." Shortly after, her son Zhu Feng appeared and said, "You can't keep this up. If you want to separate, then separate already. Get divorced and resolve everything according to the law." But Zhong Xiaoying kept insisting on compensation. When she heard her son suggest divorce, she became furious and shouted, accusing him of being ungrateful. Zhu Feng, however, looked at his mother with disdain and told reporters in a tone of frustration, "My life at home is good. Every time she comes back, she destroys everything and leaves the house in ruins. She's been gone for many years. To me, mother is just an empty title. She never took care of me. When my father was sick, he was the one who endured everything. I just want this relationship to end quickly. There are no feelings left between them." Despite all the resentment, Zhu Feng said that even though he had never received any maternal affection, he was still willing to give his mother a place to live. The previous year, he had even prepared the family's old house for her, buying new appliances in hopes it would calm her down. However, Zhong Xiaoying continued to demand more money and insisted that the property be put in her name. When the three were brought together by the reporters, Zhu Zhongwo declared that there were no feelings left and that he wanted to divorce as soon as possible. But Zhong Xiaoying refused to give in. She kept demanding 1 million yuan in compensation and even said her husband should leave the house with nothing. Such a stance seemed absurd. While husband and son tried to distance themselves from the conflict, Zhong Xiaoying remained fixated on her material demands, refusing any compromise. In the end, she left hastily, unwilling to negotiate. Her irresponsibility and constant avoidance only deepened the gap between her, her husband, and her son. And now, returning to demand her son's property, the question remains: with what face can Zhong Xiaoying claim anything after so many years of abandonment?
When we look at the story of Zhang Xiaoying and Zhou Jiangwo, it's impossible not to feel a mix of indignation and bewilderment. On one side, we have a husband who says he was abandoned, who carried the weight of raising a child on his own, and even had to hire a nanny to replace the absence of a wife. On the other, we see a woman who, after years of disappearing, suddenly returns to demand money, a house, and compensation as if time had frozen, as if the family ties were still intact after nearly 20 years of abandonment. And the most curious part is that this type of situation, which to us might sound like a rare drama, has almost become a repetitive pattern in China. Yes, it sounds bizarre, but it's not uncommon. We've seen it in many cases. The woman disappears, cuts all ties, builds a distant life, and when she discovers that the family has built something of value, a new house, an inheritance, or simply stability, she reappears, claiming to be the victim and demanding what she believes is rightfully hers. In other cases, she comes back when her health fails, when the body finally charges the price for years of neglect, seeking shelter in the very home she once rejected. It's as if there's some kind of unwritten manual for these dramas. First the disappearance, then the triumphant return, with accusations of betrayal, demands for money, and a rehearsed speech about old grievances. Yet at the core, the issue always seems to revolve around the same elements: money, property, and convenience. Affection, care, loyalty, all of that takes a back seat. And here comes the irony. In societies like China, which still carry strong traditional family values, this kind of sudden return of the repentant mother always sparks commotion. She's often seen as the victim of a rigid system or a cold husband. But when you look closer, what emerges is a pattern: years of absence, no real contribution, and a sudden reappearance only when there's something to gain. It's almost predictable. Zhou Feng, the son, might be the most tragic figure in this story. To him, the word mother is nothing but an empty title, a face he barely recognizes, a presence that never really existed. And yet, he is the one forced to witness the disputes, hear the insults, and carry a burden he never asked for. It's as if his parents were trapped in a theater of resentment and demands, and the son is just the unwilling audience, tired, disappointed, and with nowhere to turn. In the end, the question remains: did Zhang Xiaoying come back seeking justice, or just profit? Does she truly want to heal an old wound, or is she simply rewriting the past for her own benefit? And more importantly, to what extent can we even call family a bond that was broken so long ago and now survives only through lawsuits and public accusations? What's most striking is not just the coldness of the relationships, but how naturally these stories are told within Chinese society. Cases like this, no matter how shocking they may sound to us, are no longer surprising for those who follow the family dilemmas of contemporary China. It's almost a collective portrait, the dissolution of emotional bonds in the name of financial convenience, social appearances, and the struggle for material control. And here I leave you with a provocation. Asterisk. Is Zhang Xiaoying really the villain of this story, or is she also a product of a system that values possession and money more than affection and care? Asterisk. The irony is that while we debate who is right, husband and wife continue trading accusations, the son remains caught in the middle, and the family has long ceased to exist. This is the raw portrait of an uncomfortable reality: families disintegrating, emotions evaporating, and people coming back only when there's something to gain. It's not beautiful, it's not fair, but it is strangely common. And you, what do you think about all this? Do you believe Zhang Xiaoying still has any legitimate rights after so many years of absence, or is her return nothing but pure self-interest? Asterisk. Share your opinion in the comments. I really want to know what you think about this story. Asterisk. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, because it really helps the channel. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss more stories like this, full of dilemmas, contradictions, and reflections on life in today's China.